Not that mole. The other one. Introducing unit conversion. Let's get started. First, we're going to introduce unit conversion in its parts, unit and conversion. Then we're going to put the two together to answer the question, what is unit conversion? Third, we're going to discuss the purpose of unit conversion, followed by how to perform unit conversion. This part of our talk will include a demonstration followed by 3 examples. Finally, we'll summarize what we discussed. Okay, let's begin. So, what is a unit? A unit describes the measure of a quantity or number. Example, 10 feet. Feet describes the measure of 10. A conversion is the changing of one form into another form. For example, 1 mole. 1 mole can be expressed as atoms, molecules, or particles. Or more specifically, 1 mole can be stated this way: 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd atoms, or molecules, or particles, in the same way that I can express 10 feet in inches. That would be 10 feet equals 120 inches. I just expressed 10 feet in inches. I also changed feet, one form, into another form, inches, just as I did with moles and atoms. So what does this mean? Whether I'm going from inches to feet, grams to moles, liters to milliliters, cubic inches to cubic centimeters, or grams per milliliters to moles per liters, kilograms to grams, I'm simply changing one unit form into another form. And voila, this is unit conversion. Before I move on, notice the reversible arrows between the units. Not only can I go from the units on the left to the units on the right, I can also go from the units on the right to the units on the left, thanks to unit conversion. So, to be clear, the purpose of unit conversion is to perform calculations in STEM fields like chemistry. Unit conversion also provides a common language between scientists. Universal units keep communication clear. How do we perform unit conversion? Well, when it comes to most simple single unit conversions, we can use mental math. For example, if I asked you how many inches are there in 2 feet, in less than 5 seconds you'd probably be able to tell me 24. Because you knew right off the bat that 1 foot equals 12 inches, and so 2 times 12 equals 24 inches. You didn't need a pencil, paper, or calculator to do that. You did it in your head, which is why we call it mental math. However, there is a more precise method for single and multiple unit conversions. It's a step-by-step process. It allows you to show your work and stay organized. Let's take a look at this process. Step 1. Identify the units given and the units desired. Step 2. Use a conversion chart to specify the relationships between the units in step 1. This is an example of a conversion chart, here to the right. It lists the relationships between units of length, mass, temperature, energy, pressure, and volume. Very handy when it comes to unit conversion. Step 3. Use the relationships from step 2 to create your conversion factors. What's a conversion factor? It's a relationship in the form of an equality. 7 days is equivalent to 1 week. Now, 7 and 1 don't equal, but the fact that these two are equivalent allows me to write such a fraction, or what we call a conversion factor. I can write 7 days over 1 week, which is what you see here. I can also write 1 week over 7 days. In either case, 1 week is equivalent to 7 days, and 7 days is equivalent to 1 week, whether I write them the way you see them here, or if I flip the fraction. The same is true for 60 seconds in 1 minute, 12 inches in 1 foot. Step 4. Set up factors, carry out necessary operations. Okay, why don't we just see how this actually looks? Pretty good, eh? Let's take a look at an example. Solve the following problem using the step-by-step process we discussed earlier. How many eggs are there in 4.5 dozen eggs? Units given, dozen. Units desired, eggs. We don't need a conversion chart to know that 1 dozen equals 12 eggs. Set up a conversion factor based on the relationship, 1 dozen per 12 eggs or 12 eggs per 1 dozen. Since we desire eggs as our final unit, we'll use the second one, 12 eggs per 1 dozen. This will ensure that dozen cancels. Write it out and see for yourself. The correct answer is 54 eggs. Alright, let's take a look at 2 more examples. In the example to your left, we're going to convert moles to atoms. Our given units are moles. Our desired units are atoms. Is there a relationship between moles and atoms? Better believe it. 1 mole equals 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. We're going to take that relationship and make a conversion factor. Remember, no matter how I write it, it's still going to be equal to 1. So I can manipulate my conversion factor such that the units on the bottom cancel, and I'm left with the units on top. So we're going to write atoms on the top, along with 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. We're going to put moles on the bottom. When we multiply this conversion factor times the given quantity and the given unit, 3.91 moles, we get 2.35 times 10 to the 24 atoms. And in case you're wondering what Xc stands for, that is the chemical symbol for the element xenon. That doesn't in any way affect our process here for unit conversion, by the way. Now, let's look at our example to the right. Here, we're being asked how many moles of carbon dioxide are in 2.50 times 10 to the 24 molecules of carbon dioxide. Our given units, molecules. Our desired units, moles. There is a relationship between molecules and moles. 1 mole equals 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecules. We're going to use this relationship to set up our conversion factor. Moles is going to go on top. Molecules is going to go on the bottom. We're going to multiply this conversion factor times our given quantity and given units. 2.50 times 10 to the 24th molecules. When we multiply these, we end up with 4.15 moles of carbon dioxide. Let's summarize what we've discussed today. We define unit conversion as the changing of one unit form to another. We stated that the purpose for unit conversion is to perform calculations and provide a common language between scientists. We talked about how to perform unit conversion, and we said that the most precise method for unit conversion is a step-by-step process outlined and demonstrated in this presentation. On your journey to understanding unit conversions, remember, practice makes perfect. Good luck.